Hey, how did our money get all fucked up?
Hold on. All right, we live, Philly. So, we got a lot to talk about on the Madden Underground podcast today, man. It's gonna be crazy. Make sure you guys lock in. How you feeling, Philly?
Shit. Man, look. If anybody paying attention to what you got running across the bottom of the screen, I'm just saying. It's time. It's time. All these topics is fire.
Oh yeah. We got a lot to talk about, bro. Whole lot to talk about. I know it says. Let me change that real quick. I know it says week 4 game of the week. We're gonna change that real quick.
I'm just trying to figure out, which one you're gonna lead off with.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of topics, man. Browns checking in. Let's see the Browns got Woody in the building.
Is he wearing the shades though?
Is he wearing the shades?
Shades up in the chat. I've been defending you, and you ain't said nothing about it. So that means you did put on shades. They're not prescription. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. It is what it is.
Hey, we need to. He needs to come out with the brand of humble cookies. You know what I'm saying? We heard the humble pie.
Yeah.
Humble cake. Yeah. But humble cookie, man. That's a new brand you need to focus on putting out, man. Make sure we get that out to the people, man. Humble cookies.
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy. Frito-Lay. Somebody needs to get behind it, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Humble cookies is the new thing.
Yes. And whoever that spokesperson is, they got to be wearing shades.
Yeah. Yep.
You have a humble cookie hanging from your neck.
Hey, if he had a gold humble cookie, bro.
Right? And
with the shades on?
You know what, Woody? It ain't even got to be real. Just get a cookie. Let it sit outside for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? It's cold where you at. We know. Put it outside. Protect it. Spray paint that joint. Drill a couple holes in it. Hang it from your neck.
Oh yeah.
Straight.
Crazy.
Yeah, put tape on the back though, so that way it don't mess up your gear. You know what I'm saying?
Get the humble cookies. That'll be like a legit thing, bro.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So you got everything fixed.
I'm
game of the week, right?
It was supposed to be a game of the week. Unfortunately, we have one of the participants jumped. He jumped off the. He jumped off the side of the ball. He jumped off. He couldn't handle the pressure. The losses. He lost to a team that was 55 overall. I'm not gonna say 55 overall, but we know the Broncos aren't the best team in the league. They're probably the worst managed team in the league.
They're well coached, though.
They're well coached.
Yeah.
But the GM aspect of it is terrible. So we know that's a poorly managed organization in regards to the personnel.
Yes.
But when it comes to skill play and all that, the dude can play the game. We know J Hawk can play.
Yeah. Championship aspirations. Third round talent.
Third round talent. You know what I'm saying? Team's not the best. You got an old Russell Wilson still playing. He traded for Dalvin Cook, but he doesn't use Dalvin. He didn't use Dalvin Cook the entire game yesterday, so it's like he's not even there. So it's a lot of different things that you can say about the Broncos in the league, but you can't say you can't play. You know what I'm saying? It's just the team. The team is terrible. He did a terrible job of managing the team. But nonetheless, he has a winning record right now. You got Cal Bear in the building. I see Cal Bear checking in. But yeah, he said he got to. So we gonna see. We got a lot of different things to talk about though. But when you lose to a team like the Broncos and you're supposed to be the top tier player in the league, like Diggs was supposed to be.
Right.
Diggs was supposed to be the cream of the crop, the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you get slapped up by. It makes you look a little vulnerable. Make you feel a little vulnerable. You feel like, you know what, man, this ain't for me. No. He literally deleted the game off his Xbox after the game. He sent the screenshot like, I quit. The game is not even on my Xbox anymore.
Not even on Xbox anymore.
So RIP.
Well, I mean, look, he continues to die and be resurrected because he quit before. The last time, and it's funny how Russell Wilson continues to be involved in this man's Madden career.
Because Russell Wilson always either exposes him or puts him out the pasture.
Yeah. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. First time it was that trade.
Yeah.
Took that L.
Yeah.
Disappeared. Never heard
so
from him again.
I don't know. It's one or two things, man.
Yeah. Changed his name.
RIP to Diggs though, man. Shout out to him. He had a good run. He made a couple. He didn't make his money back though. I think that was just really getting at him. Like he didn't make his money back. It was like, he got his registration fee, but he didn't get the glory that he's looking for, and unfortunately, it didn't pan out the way he wanted it to. But shout out to Diggs, man. He tried his best.
He did. And when you put that much time in a game, the least you could get is a shout out.
Definitely. That's what we like to do. Give shout outs. Shout out to a couple of other people, man. Shout out to the hybrid league players. You guys are doing a great job, remarkable job over there.
Yeah.
A lot of great competition, a lot of people rising and falling, a lot of people in and out, but they're trying their best to get to the pro league, scraping and grinding, trying to get to the pro league. I talked to the commissioner over there, asked him, was there anybody suitable to fill this void in our league? And he didn't feel that the caliber of player that Diggs was, there was a player over there that could come in and bring that level of play. So that's why we didn't pull anybody from the hybrid league to replace the.
I mean, what are you getting at? I mean, that's almost like you setting us up for something. Like you letting us know, hey, I didn't feel that you need to take the path less traveled.
What I'm saying is that you have to. There's a level of play, a level of competence, a level of scheduling the game, playing the game, and managing the team.
Yeah.
As the commissioner, I said, is there anybody in hybrid right now that you feel could come in and fill this void? And he didn't feel at the moment that there was anybody that could fill that particular void that Diggs brought to the league. You know what I'm saying? He said Diggs is a huge presence, commands a lot of energy, a lot of attention on stream, and he plays at a high level. So was there anybody that was going to match that energy coming in? No. He said if there was anybody else that you had on the wait list, bring that person in and
bring him in.
See what happens, man. See what comes of it. But, so unfortunately, nobody from the hybrid league. That doesn't mean that we won't pull from you later. It just means that this particular team and player that left, you weren't graded up to that level to replace that type of player. So if somebody else leaves, you might be able to fill that team needs because of the level of player that player was. So we're looking for players that, just mirror players. You know what I mean? Somebody that if you leave Philly, somebody that can bring either what you brought or a little bit more to the table than what you brought. You know what I mean? So that's what we're looking at.
That's fair.
So and I see people asking what happened to him. He lost to Jay Hall, and he couldn't handle losing to Jay Hall's team because Jay Hall, I don't even think he has any X factors or superstars outside of the quarterback.
No, the fatigue set in.
The fatigue set in. He was losing. He couldn't handle it, and they thought the game was too close to call that he was playing a team that level. He's like, the fact that I'm even hanging. He called Jay Hall something out of his name, and he left the league. So he said it wasn't for him. He couldn't handle the competition, and that's okay. But with that being said, means that there's a new talent coming into the league, and maybe they'll be able to bring what Diggs brought, if not more. You know what I mean? So we'll see who that player is. You may be able to look on the game and see if he accepted his invite yet. But as that time comes,
should we be afraid? Should we be concerned?
Okay, look, I want
to. Ever collected Infinity Stones?
I've seen people. I seen names thrown around the chat yesterday, and people. It incited a lot of fear in the league. The rumor that VA Dimes was coming to the league incited a lot of fear in the league. I know dudes were like, "Oh, why Dimes? Anybody but Dimes? I'll pay you for the team, and you can just give it to anybody but Dimes." And it was anybody but Dimes, bro. And it was like in my head, I'm like, why not Dimes? I like this fear. Especially the way they were talking to me the other day. We had a lot of people talking reckless to me the night before. And it's funny, the irony of that, right? People are talking about how, this, that, you don't have to worry about certain things. They weren't scared of nobody. It is what it is. I'm out here to play. Put me up against anybody. And soon as the mention of dimes happened, it was like, oh, everything changed. It was like, oh, it incited a lot of fear. Like I said, the only person that seems to not be scared of dimes is Burko and Old Honcho. You know what I'm saying? The Old Honcho wasn't scared of dimes. Burko's never been scared of dimes. Be honest, I don't think he even respects him as a player. But that's just, maybe he respects him, but outside of his, it's limited, in my opinion. But I think, like I said, it's a lot to say, a lot to take in, and I know a lot of people were afraid, and that's understandable. I get it. You're scared. You don't know who's coming in to take that team. You don't know what they're bringing to the table. You don't know if they're on your schedule. A lot of people were checking to see if they played the Commanders and things like that. Yeah. But there's a person taking over the team. They should be taking over the team any day now, any minute now. And once they do, you guys will see. And hopefully, whoever it is, you guys can adjust to play against. All right, Philly. With that being said, anything would you like to add in that sense?
About which part? About Diggs quitting, or
all of it,
or the new player coming? I mean, look, we talk about it all the time. Okay, we talk about how soft people are, and y'all always get mad at me. Y'all always get mad at me for calling y'all out, for calling people soft, for throwing stuff in their face that actually happened. But the bottom line is, I don't lie to y'all. I never lie to y'all. So, when you have somebody that doesn't have a certain level of responsibilities and comes in and, everything ain't going their way and they decide to quit, guess what? That speaks to you, not just as a player, but as a person. And you can't run from that. You know what I'm saying? You can't run for that. So, for people that throwing shade at MP or Blaze or anybody else that, they make a little comment here and there, that's the stuff that they speaking on to. But we've all done it. There's all been situations. There's been people who win championships that quit, that tapped out. They wasn't man enough for the moment. But you know what? That's part of life. So, he's gone. It is what it is. Is he going to come back next year? Who knows? But right now, J Hall, he did the damn thing. The time before that, it was CJ. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But none of y'all are winning MCS belts. We all in here and we competing at a high level.
Yeah. You kind of cut out there, Philly.
No, that was it. That was my dramatic.
Oh, okay. That was it.
Yeah,
that was it. Okay. That was just
I was like,
abrupt stop. Okay. All right, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
All right,
but bars I was spitting, off when I was doing it.
So with that being said, like I said, you alluded to, we saw MP come in there. He said he was who we thought he was. He's everything we thought. He's everything we thought he was. You know what I'm saying? Like don't. Everybody thought Diggs was tough. Everybody thought Diggs was hard body, couldn't be stopped. And a lot of people felt that way. There were certain people. C-Jack was another one that felt like, I'm gonna line up with anybody. But there was a lot of fear. Diggs coming in, they didn't want him here. Like they made it clear they didn't want him here because of things that he did in his past and things like that. But my thing is, if and with every right, you have that point, but it's different. My thing was, if a dude gonna come here and feel like he can do certain things, I love when he gets washed up. You know what I'm saying? When he washes up on the shore because he can't handle the beatings after beatings after beatings, struggling, got in that division with him, putting hands on him. J Hall put hands on him, and the blueprint was out last year. The assassin came in, put the blueprint out on how to beat him when everybody felt like he was kind of unstoppable. And he washed up last year, but it was after at least he played the 4 seasons. He washed up in season 5.
Yeah.
But
and he won a chip. He won a chip.
He won a chip. You know what I mean? But it's like, did he win a chip?
He did last year. Yeah, he won a chip.
Okay, he did win. He won one. So, but yeah, like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But this year, like I said, we got 2 different winners. Burko, we got Assassin. Ain't no telling who it's gonna be season 3. But the season's off to a great start. It's off to a remarkable start. We got guys like C-Jack scraping and grinding. I saw he's scraping. He got a big game against True Legend coming up. A couple other people got some big matchups too. We get to see if Burkow's going to be able to repeat, or if Assassin's going to return to greatness, or if Taylor May could be the third person to win a championship in that division and things like that. So these are all great things that we have to see, and opportunities that people will have to knock out these things, man. So
see, you're leaving. See, you're minimizing because you didn't even mention MP.
MP's off to a hot start.
Right,
he's off to a
great start. He said it himself, right?
He's standing on business right now.
Taylor May alluded to it too. They were like, "Look, man, we hit these mid-season slumps, and both of them are aware of it. Both of them are primed. They're getting themselves ready. They got a great start, and they got some unfinished business. So, you mentioned a lot of killers right there, and that's the main thing, right? It's not about front running. It's about showing up, coming out to play, not making excuses. You know what I'm saying? Not crying to the commissioner, begging for this and begging for that. But hey, some of you, that's what Mutt got you feeling. Got you in your feelings. Thinking that, you paid for this team and you deserve all the amenities that come with being successful. That's not true.
That's definitely not true. Definitely not true. So like I said, a lot of dudes, they got high level teams, and dudes have to scrape their way into contention with certain other teams, but we'll see what happens, man. It's a lot of guys we see Cal Bear. Cal Bear got the Bills. He took them to the bowl. That's expected. You got the cover art player on the cover. Right. That's expected. We expected Cal Bear to be in the bowl the first season, even the second season. You know what I mean?
And now he's trying to pretend like he got a chip on his shoulder. It's an imaginary chip.
Yeah, it's an imaginary chip.
It's an imaginary chip.
Yeah, so we got let's see what you say. Your mic is hella low, Philly. Let me turn you up a little bit. I can turn you up a little bit.
Killing them soft.
Yeah. So there we go. Say something, Philly.
Say something, Philly.
All right, got you. All right, but nah, we definitely got to get. Oh, he said Cal Bears one. Oh, he said you're 1-5, Philly.
Oh, I'm glad you can count. Again, 99 overall, slow development, 99 kick power, 99 kick accuracy.
What's that? Who numbers are those?
Those are Cal Bears numbers. Those are Cal Bears numbers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying, like, you got Josh Allen, you got this, you got that. I was supposed to be in that division with the Jets, Cal Bear. You know it.
Got the Patriots checking in. BKP in the chat. Like I said, we're actually supposed to have a game of the week versus Diggs and Assassin today. Diggs got slumped, and he's not here. So this podcast is in replacement of the game of the week, so everybody can still get their challenge for the week 7. The game of the week viewership of the week 7 game of the week was the challenge. So we're doing this instead because, like I said, one of the players was put out of commission.
See, there you go, being nice. I'm gonna say it again because I told you as soon as you told me the Diggs quit, I was like, hey, let's look at the schedule. Let's reach out to these cats. Let's see who wants to step up, who wants to be in the prime time, the spotlight. You said Philly. It's not gonna happen. There's nobody that I can call at the last minute that's willing to schedule the game to be on the air, and that's why we're doing the podcast. I was like, come on, B, somebody. Ran off a couple names. He was like, no, Philly. No. They're not ready. So, yeah, y'all might be in the chat right now, talking, clapping, but you know what? Are you ready for the prime time? No. You're not.
All right, well, look, with that being said, next we got another game of the week. I think it's week 10. So make sure you guys check in. That'll be another challenge for you guys to get an opportunity. A lot of people hit the goals for the cycle week 1 through 6. A lot of people hit their challenges. A lot of people accomplish things. So there's a lot of people that's going to be getting dev traits. And I'll let you guys know probably Friday who got those dev traits for week 1 through 6. This starts the cycle for the second cycle of the season. There's 3 cycles. So it's next one, 7 through 12. You'll be able to another opportunity for you to get, some dev traits. So, but we'll let you know who got it for 1 through 6. A lot of people got it because they tuned in week 1, week 4, and it's an opportunity for you. We giving you opportunities, man. All you got to do is show up and then hit the rest of your goals in the challenge section. A lot of people are not even checking the challenges. But yeah, so like I said, we giving you opportunities. Each week we do a podcast or there's a game of the week. Participating and tuning in, even if you tune in for a second, and make your presence felt in the chat. you'll get make sure you say something in the chat, because if you don't say anything in the chat, we won't know you were here, and we won't be able to give you the credit for participating in the challenge. So make sure you say something in the chat, check in, and so we know that you're here and things like that. So, well, moving on. What another next topic, right? NFL playoffs, man. Weekend was crazy. Not really, but
it was. It was.
I
It really
don't think
was.
so. Okay, how was it? How was it crazy?
All right. Well, first of all, nobody expect for the Cowboys to get slapped up. I know most of America tuned in to watch them take that L, but I'm just saying, the Packers look really good. They looked really good out there. I thought that was impressive. I felt like Detroit, they should have lost that game to the Rams, but they pulled it out. And they're learning how to win. They're learning how to be front runners, and that takes some time. Now, the Eagles, we knew they were dysfunctional to begin with.
Yes.
And Tampa Bay, quiet as kept, they got this little bit of swag about them because Baker Mayfield has been playing some very good football. So, you can't be surprised by any success that they have from this point moving forward. And then, look, the Dolphins was depleted. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody can say what they want about Tua trying to get Mahomes' jersey. The game was over with. You might as well come away with a win. Might as well come away with a win. But I'm just saying.
All right, I'm gonna say this because a lot of people are saying that.
Can't be mad.
If you look at the quarterbacks that are in the playoffs right now, you have Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
Tua.
Well, not anymore.
Well, I'm just saying that we're in the playoffs.
Okay,
Tua, CJ Stroud. It would have been Deshaun Watson had he not been hurt, right?
Yeah.
What's his name for the Eagles?
Goff,
Hurts, Goff, Mahomes, Lamar. It's a lot of young quarterbacks, and people are saying like, why all of a sudden Jordan Love, all of a sudden these quarterbacks are they're emerging as the guy. And I had this conversation with a friend, and they were saying like, I don't get how all of a sudden these dudes are playing good and things like that. I'm like, no, what happens is the older quarterbacks are getting phased out, and these guys are able to play. In my opinion, it feels like, it seems like that they're phasing out that old school style of football, and it's becoming what these guys are used to playing. You know what I'm saying? The schemes that they're used to playing in, they're not coming in trying to be forced into a system they're not familiar with. They're actually coming in and tailoring schemes around these guys, tailoring offenses around these guys to their strengths, so it hides the weaknesses that these guys don't have. These guys do have, I should say. But it's a lot of different things that come into play, and I feel like now we're gonna see guys emerging. Like, it's gonna be guys are gonna come in and have instant success as quarterbacks coming out of the draft because of the way that coaches are coaching now. We're seeing a lot of these old coaches getting kicked out the league because they had an old school mentality, and they didn't want to leave that old school mentality in the past, or they used to playing a certain style of football, and that style of football is, like I said, even in Madden, you say, okay, I hate running the meta, I hate running this and that. You want to play this style, but it's only going to get you so far because it's been seen and studied for so long. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows how to stop certain things. Everybody knows how to do certain things and things like that. Shout out to Bravo in the chat, man. See you, bro. But a lot of different things, and I think that's why we're seeing so many great coaches. I think the Cowboys coach is going to get fired. I don't know who's going to replace him, but I know he's going to get fired. And I think that everybody wants a style of offense that's going to be able to put points up on the board. And when you get into the offense that the Cowboys had this year, the red zone offense was terrible. I know they got rid of Zeke, but they felt not having Zeke this year because there were certain situations that it was a gimme for Zeke because of the style of play, the style of back that he was, and that system that they ran, they tried to figure that Pollard was too light in the butt to do. He was good. He's a great third down back. Don't get me wrong. Third down situations, coming in off the bench, coming in, going out there catching passes, or filling in for Zeke when he's tired. But they need a heavier back, in my opinion. But
you're right, because you're talking about football, right? You talk about
and they said
styles of play.
Illuminati said they're bringing back McCarthy, but I think that's a huge mistake, in my opinion, because it's like that's another guy playing that old school style of play. And then he call the plays this year. Then he started calling the plays, and it was like certain situations you gotta have that those different youthful schemes. I'm not gonna say youthful, but I mean like just those more modern schemes in the offense to where you can use Dak's mobility. You can use the strength of the backs, or the elusiveness of the backs and the receivers and things like that. So, but I think that old coaching style is going. Belichick. They talking about Belichick wants to go to the Falcons. And I'm like, they got mutual interest with each other. Is that a great fit? Depends on who's the quarterback. Is Brady coming back to play for the Falcons? You got some old geezer coming back to play out of retirement, because there are no old quarterbacks left in the league anymore other than Joe Flacco. You know what I mean? But how do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, I think you make some good points. But I feel like the issue, particularly with the Cowboys, is you got to have multiple backs, right?
Yeah.
You got to have your change of pace back. You got to have your power back or your short distance back. But any scheme that you have offensively and defensively, it has to be what your team is built on. So my biggest complaint with the Jets has always been lack of motion, right? Lack of creativity. They just line up like they have the talent to dominate. And I'm like, look, you don't have the talent, so you have to do other things. And I think that Belichick, as a coach, I think he understands football at an extremely high level. And from what I've read, he wanted to get rid of Mac Jones. He wanted to move on. And I think that, being up in Boston, you kind of limited with some of the selections that maybe you go with the quarterback. And I think that it'll be interesting to see, because I feel like Belichick knows enough football that, yeah, he can get an athletic quarterback. He can have somebody that's capable of putting pressure on a defense. And, we've seen Andy Reid do it. Nobody's talking about Andy Reid. Andy Reid, he's a great coach, and he's been able to adapt and adjust. And, I think Mike McCarthy, I think he's capable of doing it, but I don't think, based on the way that they took that L, that he needs to be the coach. I think that you could just as easily have somebody else come in, and they could just as easily win. They could just as easily lose. Nobody expected the Texans to do well, but look at what they did with a rookie.
With a coach.
And look at Tomlin, always over 500. You cannot tell me if Tomlin didn't have better talent on his team.
That kills me.
Them winning championships.
That the Tomlin situation kills me, because everybody talk about, Tomlin, he never wins anything in the playoffs. The fact that he's even making the playoffs with the roster that he had, them firing the offensive coordinator in the middle of the season,
right?
The quarterback situation, they had Mason Rudolph win them 3 games to get them into the playoffs.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Imagine if you had a quarterback with some type of like real capability, like they could probably go deeper into the playoffs. But like I said, and then on top of that, you're playing the Ravens twice, the Bengals twice, and you played the Browns twice, right? 3 teams from that division made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Have Joe Burrow, been healthy, ain't no telling what the Bengals would have been too. You know what I mean? So my thing is this: is that you got multiple playoff contenders in your division. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, of all those teams, the Steelers is the worst team.
They are.
The Steelers are the worst. They're the only team that don't have a franchise quarterback yet, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you're right. It could have been possible. All 4 of them could have made the playoffs.
All 4 could have made the playoffs.
It could have been the first time, like you said, with Burrow. But again, that's the whole thing, is when you talk about that very complacent mindset and you talk about that lack of imagination. I think that's one of the things that the Dolphins, they did well. The Bills adjusted. The Eagles are struggling, but nobody thought the Rams was going to make the playoffs. Nobody thought the Steelers was going to make the playoffs.
That's
or the Texans.
That's what I'm talking about. We see McVay do it time and time again. That year they went to the Super Bowl. Nobody thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm talking about the first time they went. The first time they went. Not when they had Odell, Von Miller, and all that. Yeah, not when they bought the Super Bowl. I'm talking about when they had Goff the first time when he took over. They came to LA, he took over the team or whatever after they fired Fisher, and he took them to the bowl. You know what I mean? And nobody thought they were, like, if you looked at that roster, that was not a Super Bowl roster. Given the teams that they had to go up against and beat and things like that, nobody thought they were going to the Super Bowl. And then when they got there, he was like, oh, maybe they can win it now because who they were playing against, but they got outcoached in that game. So, but that's my thing, is like, it starts with the coaching staff, it starts with the personnel, it starts with the GM and different things like that before you even hit the field. you got to have the right things around your coach for him to be successful. And if you don't give the coach the tools, I expect them to be successful. Cowboys, reason I say the Cowboys coach should be fired is because that team is the best, if not the best, has the best roster or second best roster in that division. You know what I mean? And if you talk about conference, they're probably top 5 in the conference. So you're automatically going to be in the playoffs automatically just by having the roster that you have. Now, if you can't win the first game in the playoffs, then you got to go because anybody can get to the playoffs with the Cowboys. That's not an issue. That hasn't been an issue. Getting there is not the problem. It's winning when you get there. So, yeah, I think McCarthy should have been going, but that's the reason I say he should have been going because I normally don't say people should be fired. But yeah, that's the reason I say he should have been going is because anybody, any logical or somewhat, capable coach could have got the Cowboys to the playoffs, but can you win that game when you get there? That's the issue I have with it.
Yeah.
So,
and again, that's fair because you can't look at those teams we talked about, the Steelers, the Rams, and the Texans, and say that it's okay.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Giants last year. What they did, they got some people fired because what's your excuse? Now, granted, people could say that the AFC South, is completely different but look, nobody expected for the Texans to do what they did. Nobody expected for the Rams to do what they did. And nobody expected for the Steelers to do what they did. So, again, you're right. It's a lot of old school mentality, a lot of, favoritism, unnecessarily so. And I'm excited to see what Antonio Pierce can do with the Raiders. I'm excited to see what some of these other young up-and-coming coaches can do if given an opportunity. But it's long overdue. It's long overdue.
Definitely. Another thing in the Madden world has been the fatigue. Fatigue has set in, and everybody's tired. People have grown tired of the game. People have grown tired of their defense, tired of their offenses. But fatigue, man, it's been a big issue for a lot of people. A lot of people haven't been able to figure out how to get around the fatigue situation or even understand why it's happening to them. They say, "Oh, it's you got to have more linebackers on the field." I think it's a little bit more to it than that, but people aren't diving into the information that was provided for them, and they're saying it's too much. Is it working as intended?
I think so.
But it's just certain people don't understand certain things, and it's like it's becoming an issue if you don't understand why these things are happening. And give me your take on the fatigue situation.
I mean, look, people can say what they want, but either we playing a football game or we're not. You can't be running spinner and DB blitz and any blitzes with defensive backs without there being consequences. Yeah. You should not be able to drop back and have all these crazy ass route combinations and be in the pocket for 4 and 5 seconds. That's just not realistic. Every time something happens in this game that gets us closer to realistic football, like you talked about, physics. 330-pound dude going up against a 185-pound dude, and you're complaining? Come on, stop. Like, it's bad enough, and this is not even an old school mindset or anything else like that, but it's bad enough if you have a video game where people say, "Oh, well, you need abilities to throw with the quarterback." Well, guess what? Jay Hall proved that you didn't, not to be successful. But then now you want to complain because you have fatigue, or you want to complain because there's a weight difference and it's actually being shown on the field. We still don't even have a decent pass rush, but nobody wants to complain about that.
I'm not going to, not to cut you off, Philly.
No, I was done.
That weight difference, I don't think, like, I know Wrangler's probably seeing it now, but the weight difference, you can see it in the running backs too. So if a smaller DB now comes, I don't know if you noticed me playing with Dylan last night.
Oh, I watched.
Dylan, I never used Dylan in any of my games last season. He didn't touch the field because he was big, but his weight had no impact on the game. Mm-hmm. His weight actually matters now. You know what I mean? So I see them. It's more so physics, weight, impact, heaviness, impact block. Like, people are looking at, I got a linebacker on the field, but what's his impact block rating? You go look at it, it's like 42. That's why he's tired. I got this guy on the field. What's his impact block rating? 37. Oh, that's why he's tired. Nobody's looking at those. They say, it's a glitch. No, it's a glitch to us. Is it a glitch? or is it them implementing physics and people aren't used to that type of realism in the game? Oh, my guy was only in he only was in 2 plays. He's already yellow. He's getting hit by a 330-pound lineman. You're in dollar. You say I got a linebacker there. He's getting hit. Your linebacker is 230 pounds, 223 pounds, getting hit by a guy 100 pounds heavier than him. Have you been hit by somebody 100 pounds heavier than you, Philly?
No, they're not fast enough. But to your point,
I have.
I'm just saying.
One time is enough, bro. One time is enough.
They lean on you. You playing basketball, right?
Yeah.
That's like me trying to guard Shaq. Now, everybody's going to say, oh, of course, he's taller than you. Okay. He's also heavier than me, too.
Yeah.
Right?
Boxing.
So
I
shouldn't be able to box him out. I shouldn't. That's not realistic. I shouldn't be able to out-jump him.
Think about how many times before this last patch you run the ball and a lineman is doing this with a cornerback off the edge. Like he's not putting him on the ground. He's going like this with him.
Yeah.
Like they playing patty cake and and then he gets off the block and make the tackle and you trying to run. Like, come on, man. You know what I mean? Now that dude is either if he is doing that, when you go back to the huddle, that dude's blood red.
Yeah.
Blood red. You know what I mean?
He can make a play once.
He'll make a play once, and then the time after that play, he's either blood red or he don't want to come back in again. But what I'm saying is it OP? No. In my opinion, are there workarounds? Yes. Do people want to run workarounds? No, because they're used to running dollar. They used to running nickel. They used to having DBs all over the field and being able to cover and pass. Oh, well, if I run this, then I can't stop the pass with the DBs because they don't jump.
Right. You got 3 corners, 15 safeties.
Look at 3
linebackers.
Look at the trajectory of the league. How the transaction log looks now. Mm-hmm. Think about the depth charts that we looked at, like the beginning of the year. Everybody's trying to get that +3 boost. Yep. Now everybody's looking for D linemen and linebackers now. Yep. Because of the simple fact that they made them actually matter now. You have to have a rotation of linebackers to come in and to be able to match. So Struggler's an idiot. So about your crew neck team, but it's a lot of different things that come into play, man. And my thing is that you gotta that spillover. That's what people don't understand, that concept, the spillover. When you playing, you got a box. You got a box, right? Mm-hmm. You got linemen. You got O linemen, you got D linemen. Mm-hmm. And then what you want to do is you want to have those D linemen engage those linemen, so the spillover, the linebackers are able to spill over and make the tackles. Now, if those, and that's realistic. You using your D linemen to engage linemen so that your linebackers aren't taking on blocks and having to fight to make tackles. That's football. That's football, and that's what they implemented into the game. And non-football acumened players aren't able to adapt to it. So people are saying, "Oh, that's why." No, I'm not gonna say who I spoke to, but who I spoke to was thoroughly disgusted. It was like, that's not why Patrick's coming out. Patrick's coming out because of the crying. It's not coming out because it's broken. It's coming out because of the crying. It has nothing to do with the game being broken. It has everything to do with, I can't do this. I can't run this. I can't run that. And it's like, all right, well, get these crybabies what they want, because they don't even understand why the players are. If you say, I got a linebacker out there, he's tired. How much did your linebacker weigh?
225.
What's 225? What's the impact block rating?
14.
What's his power move? What's his power move rating? So
31.
Meaning if it's like 55, 56, 70, 69. You know what I'm saying? He's fighting off the block. You got to at least have 70. So if you don't have the weight, at least have the power move and finesse move rating. I watched a couple of players play, and it is what it is. I don't know. I've seen O linemen. That's why I said O linemen haven't been pancaking DBs. And in the games I watched yesterday, today, I watched it. Now another thing too. You got agile linemen, you have power linemen, right? Mm-hmm. These are things that nobody's factoring in because they don't think, they're just playing the game and talking like dumbasses. So you have power linemen, you have agile linemen. Now, what is the difference between a power lineman and an agile lineman, right? An agile lineman, they got power line, agile and pass protector, right? Mm-hmm. if you got a power lineman, those are the guys that 9 times out of 10, if they're pulling and they impact somebody, those dudes are gonna put somebody on their ass. Agile linemen are dudes that are running zone run plays, right? Because they have to get off the ball fast. They're just different things. So power, strength, them dudes is grinding it out. They hitting you and everything. That's what it is, man. My thing is that a lot of people aren't factoring in these things. You got a power move. Is your D lineman a power move player, or is he a speed rusher? Is he a run stopper? Mm-hmm. You out there with 3 speed rushers talking about, oh, they're tired. They're speed rushers. The answers are right in front of you guys, and dudes are crying because they're just used to playing the game a certain way, and it's like it kills me. And then when you say, oh, it's not like that, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This is what they're passionate. I'm like, okay, well, they're passionate because it's easier just to shut everybody up and patch the game. Because think about this year when the game first came out, the pass rush. Pass rush was crazy, right? Yeah. Pass rush is crazy. People couldn't run their bunch offenses, and then all of a sudden, oh, the pass rush is OP. No, dude, keep a dude in the block, and keep a dude in the block. Yeah. They didn't want to do that. They want to run the offenses the way they want to run the offense. What did EA say? All right, we'll tone it down a little bit. They crying. That's what they do. That's what they do. So, like I said, it is what it is, man. Dudes are going to cry, complain, gripe, moan, all those different things, man, because of the fact that they don't understand what's happening in front of them. It's happening right in front of them. I got on here people saying, "Oh, how come my players aren't developing?" Are you doing the mini camp drills? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? I tell people go to Neon Sports. It tells you the players that are more likely to develop on your team. Yep. They want me to tell them exactly how. I'm not going to tell you exactly how. I'm just going to keep on going to Neon Sports and looking at what the information provided and develop the players they're telling me to develop. So if you're going there and you're not looking at the things that's been provided to you and you still crying, I can't help you. I can't do anything for you. So and things like that. Pass rush is fun. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people getting hit by running O linemen in the run game. Run game, boom. You get hit by a O lineman, that dude is out. I saw Taylor May post a picture. He's playing the Saints. The Saints doesn't throw the ball. He runs the ball. He runs the ball 2-3 times. Your D lineman, because of the set you're in, your D lineman and the linebackers and your nickel odd or whatever aren't gonna make the tackles. It's gonna be your safeties and your corners making those tackles. Who were yellow on that picture? The safeties and the corners, right? My safety's only been 2 plays because they're taking on. They have to fight through linemen because of the defense that you're running. You're not even protecting them with the defense that you're running. That's just what it is, bro. That's just what it is. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I played J Hall last night. He ran a legit defense. Did he have the personnel?
How'd you do against a legit defense?
No. I played True Legend the other day. He ran legit. He understood. He had the rotation flowing and everything. And I saw him rotating his players in and out and things like that. And it was like, okay, this dude understands what's happening right now. J Hall understood what was happening right now. I played Z King Shea, code dude. Understood, but he understood what was happening. He's been doing the same thing. He didn't even have an issue. Mm-hmm. He understood what was happening. Mm-hmm. So it's just the guys that are running particular defenses to get particular pass rushes and things like that are having issues. And it's only been a few guys that don't understand that concept. I'm telling you, struggling. It's the defenses that you're running. I watched you play. I watched your game against BKP. I watched it. I said he is in the wrong defense the entire game. I get you're trying to cover the pass, but by you being in that defense and him knowing that, I'm gonna run on this. And every time he ran, your dudes was gassed. And then when he saw it after he ran a couple times, and I know this guy's gassed over here, I'm gonna throw the ball on.
Yep, going up top.
I'm going up top because I know this dude made. Once I see your corner make two tackles, I'm going at him. I'm going at him because I know he's tired over there. He done made 2 tackles. I know I'm gonna run a post and a streak, and I know your safety's tired because he's in the box trying to make tackles. Yep. So I'm just saying, man. Like,
Well,
it's
You're
common
saying
sense.
a lot. You're saying a lot. Okay, but have there been any real arguments from anybody?
I've not had
fatigue thing.
I have not heard an argument that made sense. And then let's not even get to Mutt though. When you start talking Mutt, right?
No.
These guys are talking about these. I can see how it impacts Mutt because Mutt, you can have whatever you want. You got a 380-pound quarterback. He can run. You know what I'm saying? They got the refrigerator as the best quarterback in the game right now.
Yeah.
So I understood why they had the term fatigue. Or anytime you tackle him, you're red. You know what I mean? So for Mutt, they had to turn it off him. People always turn it off him. No, they turned it off because you got the meta is a 380-pound quarterback.
Yeah.
Like that's the meta. You know what I mean? So that is why. Now this is the thing that the Mutt players are having. There were abilities that specifically targeted the fatigue factor. Like, oh, if I hit you with this ability, your player gets tired. The stamina goes down. Mm-hmm. But if there's no fatigue, that ability is pointless now, right? Mm-hmm. There's no need for that ability. It has no point of having that ability now. If I got a running back and he's running the ball and every time he trucks you, your stamina goes down. Every time you hit stick him, your stamina is supposed to go down, but there's no fatigue on. What is the point of having that ability now? Now you paid money to get those cards, to get those abilities. Yep. And now those abilities mean nothing. Is EA gonna compensate everybody for this mishap?
Negative.
That's why Mutt. That's why Mutt was a big deal. Like that's why everybody in the Mutt community was. It's like, yo, I paid money for these players, these abilities, and now either one, I got these abilities on and they're not working, and then you turn it off, and then now these particular sets of abilities aren't working. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. And you talking about linebacker? That's the thing. If linebackers, DBs can't cover the run, linebackers can't cover the pass. Like it's gonna be a setback. There are no linebackers you can line up at corner and just be like, oh, lock this guy up. Yeah. That's a mismatch. A linebacker on anybody coming out the backfield, or it's a mismatch. There's no linebacker with 90-man coverage in the game. Yeah. There's no linebacker. You know what I'm saying? There's no linebacker with 90 zone coverage in the game. Yeah. So it's gonna be a mismatch. Linebackers can't. They're not supposed to be able to cover like that. They're linebackers. If they could cover, they'd be safeties and corners. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Like let's be realistic. He said I'm here for credit. So that's all I'm saying. But could they vastly improve it? I'm sure they could vastly improve the logic of anything that they put out. But I'm just saying there are. It's not like, oh, I can't do anything about it. There are legit workarounds, and I know. Yeah. There are dudes with six safeties, 6 strong safeties, 6 free safeties for the speed boost, and they only got 4 linebackers on their roster. Do I feel bad for you? It's hard for me to feel bad for you. You got a speed boost. Madden gave you a speed boost. You're out the struggling, got 399 speed corners, and he's talking about, oh, my linebacker. You got 399 speed corners, bro. You got 399 speed corners. They gave you a speed boost. There's a speed boost out there. Like, come on, man. Linebackers should react in zone, but there's time when DBs don't even react in zone.
True.
I'm like, come on now. Like, there's time when how many times my DB didn't even react. That's all I'm saying, bro. It ain't gonna be perfect. It ain't ever gonna be perfect. To every upside, there's a downside. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's why I say adjust. That's the only reason I'm saying adjust, man. Because it's like, you know, there were times when the meta catered to whatever this is, and you have to adjust. You know what I mean? Like adjust. You turn fatigue off. Now certain abilities don't even mean anything. And those were impactful abilities. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, I mean, you know. But there's a patch coming out, so.
It's only supposed to be for Mutt. Remember?
No. They already wasn't gonna. So now they extended it. They're talking about Mutt. The fatigue was off and only Mutt, but there's a patch coming out, and they're supposed to address all the modes when they do this the full update. Now, will it be what you think it's gonna be? No, it's not gonna be. Dudes are still gonna get red. Dudes are still gonna be yellow. But the way they worded this time out is gonna make more sense to you. That's all I got for you. Offense fatigues too. It's just that you guys don't run the ball. You do know every time you throw an incomplete pass, the clock stops. You run the ball, the clock is ticking. You're rushing back to the.
Making sense.
I guess, man. I guess.
You're talking gibberish.
I guess, man. There is. If a dude doesn't catch the ball, he is not being touched. If the ball isn't thrown to him, that guy's not being touched.
Right.
But
yeah. I'm just saying, struggling. We'll see how your 99 speed safeties do now against the run game. I'm just saying. Think about that. But here's my question, BJ.
Hey.
Here's my question. Here's my question.
Black Phoenix. Let me answer Black Phoenix.
Okay,
quick.
go ahead.
Now you see why I was asking for them running backs. He's like, why do you need so many running backs? Hey, I saw a storm coming. I saw the storm coming. I knew it was coming. I said, yo.
That's fair.
I knew it was coming. I knew a storm was coming. I said, look, there's a storm coming. Let me go ahead and load up on these backs. And we go hit them. We gonna run it. You know what I mean? But that is what it is. But go ahead, Philly.
I was just saying, I mean, just like based on what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Right. What teams in the league right now do you feel have been impacted the least? And they happen to be successful teams at that.
The Colts.
Mm-hmm.
I feel MP.
Okay, the Bears.
Jay Haw. You got to win a record. Diggs traded every defensive end and linebacker that was of value to his team, and he was running dollar the entire game. I don't want to hear nothing about Diggs. Diggs running dollar, and he didn't quit because of the fatigue. He quit because Jay Hall was hanging with him, with the team that he had. That was let's get that right. He didn't quit because of fatigue. Yeah. That wasn't why he quit. Diggs quit because Jay Hall was hanging with him with a 63 overall team. That's why he quit. He said, "This is stupid. I'm quitting. I don't want to play." And then Jay Hall recovered the onside kick, too as well. So that was why Diggs quit. It had nothing to do with the fatigue or anything. It had everything to do with Jay Hall giving him problems with the 63 overall team, a quarterback with no abilities on defense, no abilities on the offensive line, just the running back and the quarterback, and he was able to hang with him. So that was why Diggs quit. Diggs was out there getting boxed by the Broncos with nothing. And he was like, and Diggs' team is loaded. So for you to have a loaded team and have no answers for what Jay Hall was doing, which was basically just, I ain't gonna say what he's doing, but just basically what he was doing. And you got a loaded team. Like the Commanders is a loaded team. You know what I mean? It's a good team. He got fast receivers, 99 overall quarterback. You got everything you could ask for as a one of those meta players. You know what I mean? Everything you could ask for is a team. That's why everybody was so scared of Dimes taking over that team. Because it has everything you could ask for. Like, okay, let me get busy. You know what I mean? You got a running back, quarterback, O-lineman with two O-linemen with abilities, receivers with abilities, safeties, D-linemen with abilities. What more could you ask for? Now he quit because his team, a 63 overall team, made his team tired. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think it was because he was tired. I think it was because he was getting mad. The game was so close. He couldn't pass on him like he wanted to. No abilities in the secondary. Could pass. Turn injuries on. That's what I'm saying. Hey, it was.
That's the one time I actually agree with Cal Bear.
Hey.
It's the only time.
Yeah. Josh Allen get hurt. Cal Bear's done. But no, I wouldn't say Cal Bear's done because I've seen Cal Bear do way more with way less. It's just, I don't think he knows what to do with having so much. I think this is too much for him.
That's probably what it is.
I think that's what it is. I think you having way this much, you don't even know what to do with all you have. You know what I mean? So, but I ain't gonna say it's because of the team because I've seen him do a lot with little. But and he's doing the same thing in PS5 with way less. So, it is what it is.
I mean, it's a lot of pressure though. You got those Bills. You got a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You got a Super Bowl contending team in real life and on the game. It's a lot of pressure that comes with that.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, definitely. But man, I'm geeked up. We'll see what happens with the patches in the next few days. In the meantime, I explained it to you. I'm sure you guys didn't listen because you were so focused on trying to make your points. But again, there is a thing called box spillover. If you need to understand that concept, look it up. Look it up. It's a real thing.
Wait, are you talking to people that know football or people that aren't familiar?
I'm just saying the people that don't know, that know football or don't know football, and things like that. If you know it or don't know it, look it up, man. It's an opportunity for you to get an opportunity to see what it's about and things like that. My computer froze.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you're doing it again.
No, yeah. So, but just use it as a time to look it up and understand what's going on and things like that. And that way, maybe, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Just figure it out. But again, you got linebackers, you have coverage linebackers. Mm-hmm. All I can say is people say impact blocking. People think that's an offensive trait. No, defense has a rating for that because that's the impact of which they take a block. So if it's low, it's going to be a high punishment for that impact block rating. So look at your linebackers impact block rating. Tell me what you think. And
no, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, so that's just a helpful tip right there.
But here's my thing though. Why is it such a problem? I don't understand why anybody in this league will be complaining.
No, the thing is, like I said, in MUT, I get it. I completely get it in MUT. Is because you like the quarterback. You got a quarterback that every time you tackle him, it's gonna, if anybody touches him, it's gonna be like, I get it. You know what I mean? Right. But because of the physics. But like I said, it's a physics thing, and in my opinion, that makes sense. Like if you try to tackle Derrick Henry, you should be red after trying to tackle Derrick Henry, or yellow after trying to tackle Derrick Henry. If you get hit by a lineman, it makes sense. So, like I said, is that you have guys that are built to engage with linemen. Those are the D linemen that you have. But you want to also make sure that they have those impact block ratings. So that is what it is. And if you don't have that, and I shouldn't even be telling you, I should just let y'all cry like little babies like you've been doing. But because I run the ball and I shouldn't even be telling you that. But it's just a lot of these dudes don't even run the ball. And they're like, why aren't the offense getting fatigued? It's because you're throwing the ball. You don't even run. You got 4 carries a game. I look at the stats. We're doing the challenges. We see the stats. You know what I mean? So it's like, come on. But if you're out there throwing the ball, you're playing a guy that's throwing the ball all game. You're in great shape if you're playing a guy that's throwing the ball all game. Like, you don't even have to worry about it. If he starts running the ball, then you're in a little trouble.
Is there any good news? Because right now, you said Diggs quit, but there's a mystery coach and GM coming in. You haven't revealed who that is.
I don't got to
talking
reveal
about fatigue. I'm just saying, is there any good news? Is there anything that people can look forward to? And who do you think is going to win this weekend?
Who I think is going to win this weekend? I think it's
I
think the Texans are going to beat the Ravens.
I disagree.
I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs.
I disagree with that too.
I think it's the Lions and Bucks, right? I think the Bucks are going to beat the Lions.
Very possible.
And I think the 49ers are going to beat whoever they play. I think it's going to be the 49ers and possibly the Bills in the Super Bowl.
No, can't see it. I can't see it.
Unless, I'm just telling you.
The Bills, that fatigue that we talking about, that kicked in for the Bills. They struggling out there. They don't have anybody that can cover Travis Kelce or protect the middle from running the ball. So I feel like Pacheco and Kelce are going to have big games. That's why I can't see the Bills winning. I think that the Ravens, I do feel like it's their time. The Texans, they're well coached. I think it's going to be a great game. CJ Stroud is playing out of his mind. And you didn't talk about it. I thought you was going to talk about it. And I know we getting close to running out of time. But you haven't talked about how disrespected CJ Stroud has been in Madden this season.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think, like I said, when I look at Tua with a 90 overall rating in regs, and you see CJ Stroud with an 80 overall rating, he's doing things that's never been done by a rookie quarterback. Yeah, I think that's extremely disrespectful. I know he's a rookie. You want to gauge his ratings accordingly. But if you're going to give Tua a 90 overall rating, you got to give Stroud a 90 overall rating. He's taking his team further in the playoffs. He's done way more without Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and the rest of Mostert and the rest of that offense. I don't even think, like I said, he doesn't have the team around him that Tua has, and he's doing, You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing a lot more. So for me to be seeing the ratings and things like that, that's crazy. I think Jordan Love is another guy that should be rated higher in the game.
Yeah.
He has a bunch of unproven receivers around him. The reason that left, Aaron Rodgers left was because of those receivers. He didn't feel that they were capable of getting him to where he needed to go. You know, and I think it's different. It's different when you got a younger guy in the locker room with a bunch of younger guys. They can relate to each other more. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers doesn't know what drill music is. He doesn't listen to Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Like it comes down to you being able to relate to the guys that you're rocking with and on some level. You know, like I said, we all can talk, we all relate to one another in this community because we all play Madden. You know what I mean? We all understand what the good things are about Madden, what we hate about Madden, but we're all able to have conversations about that. Now, when you got a guy like, you know, Aaron Rodgers in the locker room, you know, he may expose you to things that you didn't know about the game. But as far as just on a day-to-day basis, the conversation is going to be a little bit different. You're not going to be as comfortable. It's going to be more like a parent, fatherly figure there, opposed to one of your comrades. You know what I'm saying? Now, who you have dudes in the streets, they go to war with their comrades. They don't go to war with their parents. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the difference. You know what I mean? It's understanding that. Like when you think about the Raiders situation, you got Antonio Pierce. He came in there with a particular type of energy. He came in there. Why? Because he wasn't in there as a authority figure at the particular time. He was in there when he was initially walked into the locker room. So his relationship with different players was different because he wasn't an authoritative figure, because he was just, you know, whatever position coach he was working with. So when you there, you just basically trying to bring the best out of the players that you're working with. So that relationship is different. Now when you get in an authoritative position, you got control of the entire team. You bring that energy to the entire team. Players are more receptive to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, and you may be listening. He pulling up to the stadium in a cherry red 6'4". Players are like, oh, okay, yeah, I like that. You know what I'm saying? He got swagger to him, so players can relate to that. And that's how I think, like I said, the coaches, the leadership, if you can't relate to your player in some capacity, it's gonna be an issue. So I think that's been the problem with a lot of different teams, a lot of different quarterbacks in that sense, is that you got to have players in position that you can actually relate to in the coaching situation. But also, you got coaches like Andy Reid where they're just great coaches and they just do great things. And you got players that look up to him and they play hard because they don't want to let him down. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it can work either way. But like I said, you can't come in just an old geezer, no resume, and think you're going to be telling these millionaires how to play. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So, you know, it is what it is. But what do you think about Belichick taking over a job and bringing Nick Saban in to come coach with him? That's been a rumor.
You know what? I don't like it because I feel like they both, their egos is too big for that.
But they worked together before in many situations.
Yeah, but I'm like, look, we know what Belichick's goal is. He wants to get that record from Don Shula, and that's fine. I think he should get it. I think he deserves it. He's paid his dues. He's played in a lot of different eras, and like I said before, he wanted to get rid of Mac Jones. He didn't feel like Mac Jones was a good fit for the team.
No, he wasn't.
And you know what? And I agree with him. So, you know, I think that it's just going to be an opportunity for him. If he feels like Saban's going to bring something to the table, look, both of them know way more football, real football, you know, than any of us do. I respect that.
But I get that term. The term real football. The term real football doesn't exist anymore.
No, it does. No, it does exist because remember we were talking about earlier, and you said it yourself. And you were talking about running things that have been seen so many times that people have answers for. And when I'm saying, you know, real football, I'm saying Belichick used to be known. If you remember, he had a wide receiver lined up like on the line of scrimmage, and they were like, "Wait, what is he doing there? I don't know what to do. I don't know what my responsibilities are." Look, football is a great game, and I love it. And I think, yeah, they're two of the greatest minds. I just feel like Belichick has an opportunity to reinvent himself, right? Maybe take some risks, maybe do some things that he used to do when, you know, he was rocking with the Cleveland Browns. And I don't know if Saban would allow him to do that. I think Saban probably needs a break more than Belichick does, but I'm just saying it's a big transition to come to the NFL. I don't think Saban had a lot of success before, and I do think there's a lot of other capable, coaches that should be getting opportunities as head coaches, as OCs, as DCs. I look at the Eagles.
No country for old men.
Hey, Matt Patricia was not the answer, Sirianni. He was not the answer, and they suffered behind it. So, I don't know, man.
People are basing things off of the resume and not the people surrounded that person. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are great because of the people around them.
That's true.
And a lot of these dudes are living off of what they've done being around greatness. You know what I'm saying? And I think I was concerned about the new hire for the Patriots, Mayo. But like I said, I think he's a young guy. Refresh. He's gonna be the youngest coach in the league right now, I think. Be able to bring in a refreshing, maybe a new perspective to New England. Yes. May see some changes made. But we'll see what happens, man. It's just like I said, the game is changing. It's constantly changing as we are evolving, I should say. And we'll see what happens. But that's this week's podcast, man. Everybody that tuned in, like I said, make your presence felt in the chat so you get your credit for your challenge this week. We'll be marking that down for everybody that's here. And we'll get you guys your week 6 upgrades for those of you that get them as we finish tallying them up. We'll go through them this week. We should have it to you by Friday or Saturday at the latest. But you have it nonetheless this weekend. So make sure you have you do your challenges, read your challenges. If your challenge is set, if you have a challenge and it's on your bye week, let us know. So we can give you credit for your bye week. Because you get credit for your bye week. You guys got a lot of opportunities to and nobody's really taking them. I'm just tripping off of that. But yeah, we'll see what happens. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Yeah, next Wednesday. We'll have a game of the week for you guys. So make sure you guys keep it locked.